Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Brian the Floridian, coming to you from the middle of nowhere. Actually, I'm about an hour east of Bradenton and Sarasota. Just came across this little quaint town of Arcadia, Florida, which is right in front of me here. But I'm right at the Main Street portion of the town, and pretty cool little town, right in the middle of cattle country in Florida. But anyway, guys, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at this town. I'm right down the Main Street part, so I'm going to take a little walk and explore and show you what guys I see, and I'll talk more about it. Follow me. So according to this park bench, the city of Arcadia was established in 1886 right here in Soda County, Florida. And this is the town square, which is right in the beginning of Oak Street. There's a little gazebo there with, what I imagine where they have Christmas performances there. And also happens to be a big oak tree right here, right in the middle of town square. Right in the middle of all these benches right here. And right off to the side of the town square is a historical marker giving a little bit of information about Arcadia. Let me see if I can go around the side of it. Got the sun in my face here. So the historic district comprises of 58 blocks within 340 acres that embody the city's development from the founding of its post office in 1883 through the late 1920s. The town of Arcadia was incorporated in 1886. Following the arrival of the first train that year and the area's subsequent growth. So I'm not going to read everything on this placard, but the most interesting thing I see here is that there was a huge downtown fire in 1905 which destroyed everything except 3 buildings according to this placard. And one of the buildings that survived is right there, which is the Oak Park Inn Hotel. Little quaint, charming town square. There's a little bit of Christmas decorations here. A little nativity scene right in the front, as well as American flag, of course, up there. But here is the start of Oak Street, and right across the street is the Arcadia train depot, which was incorporated in 1911, which is now used as small, different small businesses, like different small. I think there's a bank in there, maybe a few stores in there. But here's another bank. That's a modern bank, Truce Bank. And one thing sad about it was this was hit hard by Hurricane Ian, so there's a lot of damage from the hurricane right there, as you can see from those windows up there. But I just want to show you guys the downtown area, which I find very interesting. That's one of the buildings that survived the 1905 fire, and it's still operating as a hotel, I believe, right now, but I think it's closed for the time being. There's a picture. Take a look inside there. I want to say it's closed right now. But typical old school Main Street here, Main Street, USA. There's the Last Chapter Coffee House, which is right over there. So a lot of these places are actually closed right now. There's a lot of antique shops on the street. They're closed right now. They pretty much open on weekends, so this town is pretty dead on the weekdays here. But you can tell, as you can tell, some of these buildings are quite old. 1906 was that L. Morgan building right there. Lots of trucks, lots of horse trailers, a lot of people coming through here. Blue collar people work through here, going to their jobs, coming to and from their jobs. Another shot of the train depot right over there. So there's actual plants growing from the top of that building right there in front of me. Right on top of this old antique shop. Looks like some kind of fern plants growing up there. Yeah, kind of a ghost town right now. It's amazing how quiet it is right now. It's so quiet. This is like the Main Street area of Arcadia. And on weekends, this place will be jam-packed full of people looking for antiques and people sightseeing, coming here to enjoy the weekend. There's an old Oak Street deli right there. And there's a bird right there. Right on top of that signpost just flew off here. A lot of these buildings boarded up right there. There's a few broken windows, I imagine from maybe the hurricane or just decay, but nevertheless, pretty cool looking town. Main Street. There's another different building. Not sure how old this building is, but it's not open right now, so it's closed. So old school Coca-Cola sign right over this little deli right here. But this building is 1906, the Daniel 1906 building. Imagine those are apartments up there. There's a cat right there. Right there in that window. So this is behind one of the old buildings there, but there's a tree growing out of the building. Just wanted to show you guys. I thought it was pretty interesting. I want to say it's growing behind the other building, right up that brick wall, right over the top of the roof right there. So I'm not really sure how old this building is, but definitely has an old school vibe to it. I just love the way this architecture is. I'm not sure what this kind of maybe Greek revival. I'm not sure what this is, but definitely different compared to all the other buildings around here. There's the old opera house right here, museum and shops, and it's closed right now. As you see, some of those windows are boarded up, as well as being roped off right in front. Yeah, not really sure what kind of architecture it is, but it's really interesting to see this right off Main Street. You can almost hear the whippoorwill down the street. There's a restaurant right over there. These are antique shops lying down this street. Such a cool building. Look at this thing. There's an old marquee. I want to say it used to be a movie theater at one time, or some kind of theater. A few antique shops in this building also. Miss Georgia Milk. Another shot of that building across the street, the old Opera House. And it's seen better days, as you can tell. But I'm not sure if there's apartments up there or... So they had to rebuild most... I want to say this building maybe survived the fire. It says 1906. But definitely seen better days. Let's see, there's apartments up top there. So it's been roped off. I want to say it was damaged from the Hurricane Ian that came through here. So guys, in front of the theater, inside of it is like the opening to, looks like apartments in here, but I want to show you something interesting in the very back. There's actually a bar back here. I'm not sure if it's old school or if it's been here for a long time. It's called Rattler's Old School Saloon. But here's the inside of this building from the early part of 1900s there. A lot of antiques lined up along the side. Thought it was cool just to walk in here and take a look. Here's another look from the back, or actually the front. It's a little nativity scene right when you walk in. And these are for sale. These are $5.95 or $595 for this whole set. If you choose to buy them, I'm sure you get the angels up there too. So just another shot from the front sidewalk. Probably about midway down the street here, down Oak Street, but here's another building across from me. Another antique shop that's actually open. Some old buildings right here. So, oh, this is pretty cool to check out this downtown area of Arcadia. So this is a Time Merchant Welcome Back World Headquarters. This place is really chained up here. Guess they don't want anybody to come in there. Taking any antiques from here. This is what I came for actually too. It was closed. I wanted to check out this antique mall called Bigger and Bigger Antique Mall, but they're closed here on the weekdays. It says Arcadia strong help support small business as we rebuild. I would have helped support you if you guys were open. But Phil, you guys were closed. That's pretty cool. Mr. Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus with the list of good and bad, all the bad and good kids right there. Yeah, this building right there is all boarded up, so I wonder if that was damaged from the hurricane. Another old building. Definitely a ghost town down here. So guys, right here on the corner of South Polk Avenue and West Magnolia Street is this cool looking mural I just came across. Kind of gives back a hint of kind of like the life of Arcadia back in the day. I want to say they did like rodeos. Lots of equestrian things going on outside this town, around this town. The granddaddy of them all. So this was painted by Linda Castles and Tim Haas back in 2010. And look at the detail on this mural. Lots of trucks coming through here, a lot of pickup trucks, industrial trucks coming through here. So this is definitely a blue-collar town. But give me a little close-up of the mural here. There's a radio clown. Not really sure if these people are important to Arcadia, but pretty nice detail. And check this out. There's a guy coming right out of the building right there. The building's painted to kind of look like this. There's something here. It's even like a little painted bar on here. Barb's Bar, Package and Lounge. So look, from the looks of the sign, looks like they do have a rodeo here every year. And it's called the Arcadia All Florida Championship Rodeo. Even though it says 1928, I imagine it's probably here every year. Probably hence the mural, the rodeo mural here. So pretty cool. Just a random thing I saw right here off the side, off the main thoroughfare of Oak Street. So right in front of me is the City Hall from Arcadia, and this was established in 1926. At least this City Hall was. But I don't know why it's boarded up. I mean, it must be boarded up from the damage from the hurricane, I'm thinking, but I believe it's still in use. And there's a little placard about information about the City Hall. It's kind of hard to see with the sun right there, right on the sign, but this town became the county seat in 1888, and talks about more about the Thanksgiving night 1905 fire, which burnt most of the town down. 3 brick stores survived, using only brick or block. Rebuilding began immediately, so they just used, I guess, materials that would stand the test of time to keep anything from burning down again. But most of these buildings remain today. And there were 2 flying schools back during World War I. And at one time it became known as the aviation capital of Florida. So this was built on a pineapple patch, bought in 1917 for $3,000 from Fred and Ida Gore, and also was designed in the Mediterranean revival style, and was furnished in June 1926 at the cost of $45,216. So kind of cool history about this place. The Mediterranean revival here style. Here's the back of the city hall, right? Looking at it from the east side here. Another shot of that sign right in front of me. So another shot of the city hall from the west side of the building. And interesting about the town name, it actually came from the Reverend James Madison Henry. And this is according to the Atlas of Florida, which is a publication, old publication that was printed that talks about the town history of Arcadia. So this Reverend James Madison Henry named it in honor of Arcadia Albritton, who was a daughter of Thomas and Fanny Albritton, who were pioneer settlers here in this town. And what happened was she baked a cake for him for his birthday, for the Reverend, and he liked it so much that he named the town after her. Named it Arcadia back in 1886. So interesting fun fact about the name of this town, I just wanted to point out. So guys, another interesting thing about this town, Arcadia, is nobody really knew about this town before 1986. In 1986, something happened where this town was thrust right into the national spotlight, unfavorable spotlight. There was three brothers by the name of Robert, Ricky, and Randy Ray. They were all about 8 years old. They were hemophiliacs who contracted the HIV virus through transfusions. Yeah, so the Ray brothers were actually exiled from the community of Arcadia due to contracting HIV. Community members feared getting the virus, so they were actually banned from going to school. All three of them were going to Memorial Elementary School here in Arcadia, and they were just banned from going there. So the family actually fought that. They actually took it to the federal courts, and they won the lawsuit. They won a $1.1 million lawsuit in federal court, allowing them to go back to school in 1987. But unfortunately, a year later, after they were able to go back to school, their house was burnt down, mysteriously burnt down a year later after the verdict was given to them so they can attend school. So they had to subsequently move from Arcadia, moved to Sarasota, another county over, just to be able to go to school and just survive. Unfortunately, I want to say it was two of the Reyes brothers, they basically ultimately died from AIDS. I think it was Ricky and I believe Robert. I could be wrong. At least two of the brothers died from the HIV virus. So definitely an unfortunate, embarrassing event that I'm sure this town would definitely want to put behind them and forget about that. But that's one of the famous claim to fame of Arcadia was that court case, that federal court case with the Reyes brothers, HIV court case, which kind of thrust them right into the spotlight. And I believe Ricky was the one that first passed away from the HIV virus, and he was became the face of HIV back in the early part of the 80s, when, mid 80s, when it was really misunderstood, or people didn't really know much about it. They were just afraid about contracting this terrible disease. So this is Wheeler's Cafe, and they've been open since 1929. Arcadia's oldest family restaurant, operating since 1929, and they are known for the world famous homemade peanut butter pie. Southern home cooking is our specialty, and I was hoping to try that pie, but they are closed, as you can tell by the sign right here. Their new hours: Monday 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're only open till 2 p.m. today, so I am here on a Monday, and they are closed. But it used to be called C.B. Feigel's Goody Cafe before it was called Wheeler's, but that was open from 1929 to 1951. Then Wheeler's took over from 1951 to 2002. Used to be called Wheeler's Goody Cafe, but now it's just called Wheeler's Cafe. Yeah, pretty cool picture of the sun coming down. Close to sunset here in Arcadia. So this is one of the buildings off Main Street, off Oak Street. It looks like the roof caved in over there behind it, where I couldn't see from the front of the building off the Main Street part of the town. But yeah, you can tell definitely caved in right there, and right up there too. Also, there's a tarp, kind of like keeping the rain from doing further damage, but. I want to say this building is probably from 1906. One of the ones that survived the fire or that's damaged. So I was wondering why it was roped off, but now I know why, because it was damaged. Yeah, see it roped off right there. So hopefully the whole roof doesn't cave in on this old building right here. That would be a shame. So there's a Mary Margaret's Tea and Biscuit restaurant right here on the side of this cool building I saw earlier, featuring Hatters. It looks like a British pub. And there's some stained glass with a little bit of artwork here on the side. Yeah, too bad they're closed. Would have loved me some good fish and chips. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for stopping by and watching as I checked out Arcadia, Florida behind me, which is Oak Street, down Main Street here. Did a little slight detour. I want to check this place out. I'm glad I did, because it is a quaint little town. And I imagine it would be a lot more happening, especially on the weekends down here. You know, all the antique shops would be open. I talked to someone, one of the shopkeepers, you know, one of the antique shops was open, and they said that they, on the 4th of every Saturday, on the 4th Saturday every month, they do have an antique fair that, you know, there's numerous antique booths open along the sidewalk here, as well as the shops being open. Most of the shops are open, and there's also like a lot of antique tables and booths in the parking lots behind me. But so pretty cool. And I have to make it down here on that 4th Saturday, but definitely want to check it out. But guys, thanks for checking this video out. Hit like, subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you guys later. Take care. So actually the time on this clock is half an hour wrong. It's actually 5 o'clock. Not 5:30 yet. But nevertheless, pretty cool clock. Right in front of the train depot.